Spooky season's in full swing. We're getting into the autumn. You know, as the days go by, things get a little bit colder, a little bit more autumn-like. We're practically in there now. Halloween on the 31st. I'm doing the 31 days of Halloween at the moment, where I watch a movie I've never viewed before every day, and I'll do a diary. I'm working on a diary for that. So every 7 days, as I said before, I'll do quite a long video talking about all each 7 watches I've watched in October for my 31 days of Halloween, and that'll be in waves. So we'll get one like next Tuesday. I'll talk about the 7 I've watched for the first 7 days of October. Then the next 7 days I'll talk about the other 7 I've watched, and so on until the 31st. So there's my 31 days of Halloween or horror, whatever you want to call it. I'll be watching a movie I've never seen for that series though. We'll get to that next week. I'll talk all about that. This video is with autumn and Halloween season in mind. Basically, bar the 31 days of horror stuff, this is practically most things I'm going to be watching. So I picked out a bunch of classics. Basically, most of them are well-known films. This is stuff that I enjoy watching this time of year. I love repeat viewings. All of these I've seen before, so this will be re-watches. But I tend to watch these films like this time of year annually. And yeah, I picked a good selection. You know, there's about 15 or something here. Yeah, I'm looking forward to revisiting some of them. This is basically what I'm going to be watching over October, as well as other things. You know, other things will enter my mind, and I might postpone watching some of these and put another film in there. But as well as the 31 Days of Horror with the new stuff, here's some of the films I'm going to be revisiting. And I do like to this time of year. I pick a sort of a different selection each year. Of course, there's always going to be a couple of films out the Halloween franchise. Last year I did that majority of the franchise because I did a ranking of the whole franchise. This year I'm just going to watch, I think I've picked out 4 that I want to revisit. Some of them are staples. Anyway, from the Halloween franchise, to kick things off, I'm definitely going to be watching this again, Fright Night. I've only seen it a couple of times before. Fantastic film from 1985. Great suburban vampire movie. A lot going on. Some absolutely great characters. You got the Charlie Brewster, and of course Peter Vincent, played by Roddy McDowall in this one. And Peter Vincent's such a fun character. But Fright Night, that's going to be going on. Now, upon release, this was a bit of an mixed sort of opinion, mostly in the sort of realm of terrible film. I thought it was kind of okay, and I think like it's like another entry in this series, Season of the Witch, I think this may become a Halloween favourite, say in a decade or so, and that is Halloween Ends. Badly received. It wasn't the best way to end this trilogy, you know, the David Gordon Green trilogy. This film should have been a spin-off. This would have been a little spin-off featuring Michael as well as the new killer. That would have been fine. I think with it being the climax to a heavily anticipated trilogy was a bit disappointing, but I will be checking out Halloween Ends again. I've got the 4K here. I've only seen it the once, so I'm going to revisit that one and have a good look at it, because I'm really intrigued to get on that one again. Also in the Halloween franchise, I like to watch Halloween Kills now in October. Storyline wise, it's not the best. There's some annoying things in there, like the townspeople, evil dies tonight, evil dies tonight. That gets a little bit tedious, but as far as Michael in his best inception goes, this is one of them. He's brutal, he's ruthless, the kills are absolutely insane, and for that, this film I think is really good. Halloween Kills, that'll be going on again. Sticking to the Halloween franchise, of course, this one's dripping with Halloween aesthetic and atmosphere, and that's Season of the Witch, starring Tom Atkins. Fun movie. Yeah, get your Silver Shamrock on, because I'll be rewatching Halloween Season of the Witch. Rewatching this one. I always stick this one in October. I'll probably save it for closer to Halloween, maybe on the 31st or a little bit sooner. I may even do another one of these videos. But yeah, Season of the Witch, it's got to go on. And what a way to go with this Scream Factory 4K. Gorgeous edition. Yeah, that'll be going on. Of course, still on the theme of Halloween, love these Scream Factory editions from a few years ago. I'll be watching the OG. Normally watch this in October. Even if I've seen it that many times, sometimes I just have it on while I'm doing other things, you know, like just as a bit of background, because I know the beats of the film almost off by heart, but got to stick it on at least for a bit of viewing. Got to get the 1978 classic in. And while you're doing that, just continued the story with Halloween 2, set on the same night, following Laurie Strode's character as she's been hospitalised. You gotta get on Halloween 2, another fantastic one, mainly set in a hospital, but in Haddonfield, but so good. So that's all so I'll be watching those 4 Halloween movies. This come out last year, this trilogy of Ginger Snaps on Blu-ray from Second Sight with all 3 films in. I have seen all 3 of them before. I think the 3rd film's rubbish. The timeline makes no sense either, but the first 2 are really good, and I'm definitely watching 1. So if I can get 2 in, I will go on to watching 2 as well, rewatching that. I'm going to skip 3 because I don't like it. I like the fact I've got it in this set as a collect, you know, like to complete the collection, but I would definitely be watching Ginger Snaps. Great film from 2000, werewolf movie about the 2 half sisters, and yeah, it's just another good creepy one. Good atmosphere, good werewolf flick, some good practical effects in there, and yeah, even the second one's a damn good sequel as well. And just off the movies for a sec, what would Halloween be without some Tales from the Crypt? So I'm going to select some different episodes and watch some miscellaneous. I might even start going through the whole season again and perhaps get a, you know, like a ranking article on the skincrawlers.co.uk website for Tales from the Crypt. That would be fun, but definitely going to be watching some Tales from the Crypt. Got this lovely edition here, this media book on Blu-ray, although they are DVD scans but put on Blu-ray discs, so you've got your protective layer and all the kind of plus points of a Blu-ray, but you just not got the quality. It's DVD quality but on Blu-ray discs, but I'm just happy to have the complete collection, really. On to some kind of like heavy hitters now, and I think this come out last year on 4K, and I showed it to my brother for the first time in his life, and he loved the film as well, and that is the original Exorcist from, I believe, 1973, based on William Peter Blatty's novel, directed by William Friedkin, Linda Blair as Reagan. Awesome movie. This is just a special movie, and it's one of the best horror films ever made, and I watched the 4K for the first time last year. It's been a year since I've viewed the film. I'm definitely going to be sticking The Exorcist on, and yeah, so happy to have this edition as well. But Exorcist is going on, that's for sure. Now, I know over in the US, this is a bit more considered a 4th of July horror, is it? Correct me if I'm wrong. Still, it's one I put on at Halloween time, and that's Return of the Living Dead, dripping with good like zombie action and atmosphere. It's really fun. It's got comedic elements, but yeah, Return of the Living Dead's normally in my October watches. I didn't watch it last year. I watched it the year before, I think, when the 4K came out from Scream Factory. Good 4K as well, solid scan transfer. This will be going on as well. Definitely watching Return of the Living Dead. And as you can tell by the t-shirt, as you can see there, like that, big Pumpkinhead fan. This came out last year about this time, and I watched the 4K, and I'll be watching it again this year. Can't wait to get Pumpkinhead on again. And I may even watch like 3 and 4. I watched 2 when the 88 films release come out earlier in the summer. But Pumpkinhead, woo, staple of my Halloween watches, and one that I think a lot of horror fans alike will, you know, agree on this. One that you cannot really skip on Halloween is Night of the Demons. Ooh, it's just dripping with Halloween atmosphere. Group of people go and stay in an abandoned building. They decide to do a seance. All hell breaks loose. They're becoming possessed. You've got Angela there, possessed, going after people. For a sort of slightly, even a film that has slight comedic elements, it's very creepy. Like some of the aesthetic, really, it's quite spine-tingling, especially when you've seen Angela floating in the abandoned buildings' hallways. But Night of the Demons, how can you not get it on at Halloween? Absolutely awesome. So on to the final 2 now, and as far as pathos and atmosphere go, John Carpenter's The Fog. Yeah, another staple of October for me. I watch John Carpenter's The Thing every November as well as The Shining, because those movies are set in the snow, and I just love that whole aesthetic to watch just before Christmas time, you know, when it's getting colder and we could potentially get snow. I love watching The Thing and The Shining, but October time, let's get The Fog on. You know, it could be a bit foggy outside as well to add to the whole experience, but yeah, I love The Fog. Got Tom Atkins in again, Jamie Lee Curtis. Yeah, really good one. This is the Studio Canal 4K. Yeah, be watching that edition this year. And one I've recently picked up on 4K, that is Pet Sematary. I'm going to be rewatching this. I've not seen this for a few years, about 5 years, so I'll be putting Pet Sematary on. So there's kind of like my staples of this year's October watches, as well as my 31 days of horror. These movies will be going on in the Blu-ray and 4K players. That's kind of like my general, like, sort of favourites my like favourite list for my Halloween watches. So I'll be watching those movies as well as others. I may even do a part 2 to this video. Who knows? How about some of them releases? A lot of good stuff coming out. There'll be some detailed unboxings and reviews of new editions. Got some good stuff on the way, like to the channel, stuff that I'm acquiring into the collection. I'll be getting the Hell House complete collection from Umbrella. That edition's coming, that collector's edition. I'll be getting that at some point, hopefully over the next couple of weeks, because it's released imminently. And hopefully I can get that, you know, review on that and unboxing. I've seen all the films before on Shudder. Love the franchise. Hell House, so good. What about that Tenant release? Vinegar Syndrome have just announced the Tenant, Roman Polanski's classic from the Apartment trilogy. The Tenant coming to 4K from Vinegar Syndrome, and it's a solid set. It's 4K, the Tenant. It even has a box with doors on it, so it's kind of like the window to the apartment. You know, from the film, you open the little doors on the set. Pre-ordered already. I had to get the Tenant on 4K. I think I even slightly prefer like Rosemary's Baby and Repulsion in that sort of like little unofficial trilogy from Polanski, but the Tenant's fantastic as well, and I'll be getting the Vinegar Syndrome. So many other good releases as well. Night of the Living Dead on 4K, I'll be getting that review, unboxing and review of that coming from Criterion, and Friday the 13th Part 2 on 4K I've picked up. I still haven't got the first one yet, but I wanted to get Part 2 because that's actually getting an official UK release. They haven't done Part 1 on 4K over here yet for some reason. Who knows why, but yeah, some great releases coming. Trick or Treat is hitting 4K at the end of the month as well. Exorcist 3's hitting 4K like next week from Arrow. I've still got the original Blu-ray edition with the same cover and stuff and features, so I'll probably stick with that. I may upgrade it to 4K, I'm not sure yet, but that's my sort of Halloween essential watches. That's some of the stuff I'll be watching over this sort of autumny, spooky season, Halloween month of October, as well as my 31 Days of Horror you know, list. I'll be going through that, which I'll talk about on that video. I didn't want to give away what I've been watching because I want the video to be a little bit more surprising. So we'll do a 31 Days of Horror video next week with the first 7 watches. Yeah, that's my Halloween essentials then. Thanks for watching, and yeah, if you want to share anything in the comments and let me know what your favorite you know, some of your favorite go-to Halloween time movies are, that'd be great to hear. Anyway, have a good one. Thanks for watching. Bye.